So good evening, everybody. How are you beautiful people? It is 3 minutes past 9 here in the UK. If you are here live, it means the bloody world. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can see everybody on Facebook now is coming in. Melissa's here, Sarah's here, Cheryl's here, Shanice is here, Nick's in the house, Julie's here, Sean's here as well. Adam's in the house. Facebook won't let me go back any further than that on the comments, but thank you for being here, everybody. If you are watching on the replay or you're listening to the Acts on This TV audio experience on iTunes or Spotify or Stitcher or SoundCloud or wherever else you get your podcasts from, I put it out every week. I put the audio of this live broadcast out every single week on those platforms. Thank you so much for listening. Drop me a tweet at Act on This TV or at Ross A. Grant on Twitter to let me know where you're listening from. Take a screenshot. I would love to give you a little shout out. So thanks for being here. Got absolutely loads of stuff to cover tonight. It's getting close to the end of the year, isn't it? 2022 is nearly upon us. We've got realistically, it's the 29th of November today. So realistically, we've probably got, 2.5 weeks before the acting industry really starts to sort of close down, basically settle down for Christmas. But there's still 2 weeks, basically. You've still got 2 weeks to make an impact in your career. People are literally messaging me almost daily right now at the moment as we record this to say that they're still signing with agents right now. Don't fall into that trap that agents only sign people in January. I think there'll be a lot of signing being done in the next 2 weeks because agents want to get themselves ready to hit January hard. I don't think they want to just be, going through mountains and mountains and mountains of submissions. If I was an agent, I would be getting my roster in check now so I can hit 2022 hard without having to, spend the whole of January looking for new clients. And an agent's books are never closed. How many agents do we get on actsonthis.tv? And they all say, agents' books are never closed, not to the right client. If you are good, you've got something to offer, you've got a great show reel to show, you've got decent headshots, you're on Spotlight. Ultimately, if you are commercially viable for an agent, as in they will be able to send you out, you'll be able to audition, potentially book work, and you'll both earn money, you are a viable prospect. So don't hold back now if you're ready to go and think, I'm just going to wait till January. Because so is every man and his dog. You've got 2 weeks now. That sort of brings me on to what we're going to talk about, at least for the first half of this broadcast. If I go over to actsonthis.tv, this is the website that I have ran for nearly 12 years now. Every week we sit down with the biggest agents, casting directors, actors, writers, producers, directors in the TV industry here in the UK, sometimes a bit further afield as well. Occasionally we'll get someone from the US on, if it's applicable for UK actors. Ultimately we chew the fat every week on how you can have more success in the industry. You get to jump on camera, speak to these guests, ultimately network with the major players in the industry, the people who can literally transform your career. If you're not a member of this site, I don't know what you're doing. It's without a doubt the most value-packed membership you will get anywhere in the acting industry. So do check it out. If you go to the preview section, you'll see all of the past broadcasts that we've done recently. Again, just literally with the biggest names in the game. But last week we did a special session where me and producer Petch, who produces a lot of the content for us on actsonthis.tv, sat down and we took people through something that I do every single year that changed my life in 2014, and that was to strategically set goals for the following year that are set in a way through a scientifically backed framework that makes it almost impossible, honestly, guys, not to hit your goals. If you set your goals properly, you will statistically, if you follow this route, I think it's something like a 72% higher chance of actually hitting your goals than you would do if you just made some sort of bullshit New Year's resolution and went, right, I'm going to earn more money next year. I'm going to lose weight next year. I'm going to get fitter next year. I'm going to get more acting work next year. There's massive holes in doing that in terms of, you're not really setting specific goals, measurable goals. I basically took everybody through on the broadcast that we did for members this week, something called the SMART framework, which, as I say, literally transformed my life in 2014. I swear to God, financially, it was until that point the biggest year that I'd ever had, all because I got my shit together and really looked at how I was setting goals. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm just going to play you a mashup of just 2 minutes of what we did on that call last Thursday night. If you want to get access to the full 2 hour, workshop. Basically, get a membership to actonthis.tv. You will find it in the members area. But then I'm going to give you for free tonight the PDF workbook that I took everybody through, because I'm not going to take you through it. Like, you have to be, you have to be on that call or watch the replay. But it's something you can go through on your own. I'm more than happy to give you the framework yourself so you can look at it yourself. Even if you're not a member of Act on This, I just want to give you value. But here's a little bit. Where are we? Here's a little bit of how that session on Thursday night worked. Different kind of session tonight. No special industry guest per se, although we've got Petch here with us as well. But tonight, everyone watching this session is our special guest as we dive deep into the world of strategic goal setting, designing you guys your best year ever. Career goals, financial goals, personal development goals, spiritual goals, educational goals, relationship goals, and physical/health goals. The title of this workbook is It's Time to Get Smart About Your Acting Career Goals. And that's because we're going to be looking at that acronym tonight. The SMART acronym is a scientifically proven framework for setting goals. So first off, let me say this. Goal setting should not be left exclusively till December. All right. Yes, people get pumped just before a brand new year begins. But if you want to achieve real success, you should be setting goals all year round. So this is what the SMART acronym stands for. S is for specific. M is for measurable. A is for achievable. R is for relevant. And T is for time bound.
To land my second TV role playing a male nurse or similar on either Emmerdale or Hollyoaks by the 28th of Feb.
It's more relevant than EastEnders because you're a northerner. You're based in the north. It's super specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, and it's time bound. So you got the 28th of Feb.
Basically, my first one is to get an agent.
In the SMART acronym, the relevancy is going to be really critical here.
My goal was to get 3 speaking parts on TV or film of sort of 10 lines or more.
You don't need my permission to do anything. You don't need Ross's permission. You just need permission yourself to go after the career that you want and know that you deserve it and know that everything that you need to succeed in that career is already a part of you.
Boom! Look at Petch dropping all of the knowledge bombs on the end of that broadcast there. He is absolutely right, though. You do not need anybody else's permission to go after any goal you want in your life. So much of the time, I get emails from actors on a daily basis, actually, where they're almost asking me if it's all right to go and ask the industry for what they want. Is it okay if I asked an agent this? Is it okay if I sent this to a casting director? You don't need anybody's permission bar your own. And, hopefully for a lot of people who may be in that position right now where they feel they need it, in 2022, you're going to build that confidence and that courage around your own self-worth, where you're like, actually, you know what? No, I deserve this. I've been working my ass off at this. I'm going to go and ask, for what I want. And a lot of people say that they don't like sending stuff out because they feel imposter syndrome, and I've even used imposter syndrome as an excuse myself in the past for things that I know I should have tackled. But as I've got older, I've realized that actually you want more imposter syndrome in your life. You want to embrace it and go, right, if I am feeling like an imposter right now, I am stretching myself to a point, where like I am uncomfortable, in a zone of discomfort where you will grow. Otherwise, if you don't feel like an imposter, it's like, well, you've already mastered whatever that thing is that you're working on. So either you're going to get bored, or you're not, sort of stretching and fulfilling the potential that you truly have. So that little video we just played there was just 2 minutes of what we took people through in a 2-hour workshop last Thursday night. If you want to get access to it, it's a real in-depth session, and we bring people on camera and go through their goals as well. You saw Petch there go through some of his goals that he wanted to set via the SMART acronym, the SMART framework that I take people through. Get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv and get a membership. But what I want to do tonight, if I go over to the site anyway, is just give you an invite to this. Just go to actonthis.tv/goals. And then just type your email, your name and your email address in there, and I'll just send you the PDF that I actually walked everybody through during that call on Thursday night. Obviously, you don't get the luxury of me taking you through it step by step, but if you read that ebook, it's basically an ebook. It's about, 12 pages, 13 pages, something like that. It's super valuable. don't just download it. Don't just go and download it and then just let it sit on your hard drive or on your phone somewhere. If you're going to download it, go through it. And that's actonthis.tv/goals. actonthis.tv/goals. If somebody on Facebook could just write that in the comments for me, www.actonthis.tv/goals, so people who are here live can click on that and just go over and get it. That would be amazing. But yeah, don't just download it and then just leave it, because honestly, and I said this on the call the other day, I don't like boiling things down to money sometimes. It's quite crude, isn't it? And I don't value it in terms of, it doesn't, I don't value people by their earnings or anything like that at all. That's nonsense. But in 2014, I had procrastinated for 2 years, maybe 3 years prior to that, from about 2011, to set up a business. It's not Act on This, a completely separate business that actually no longer exists, because we decided, even though it was very successful, that we didn't have time to run it, me and a partner that I set this company up with. But I myself had procrastinated for years, not really knowing how to go about setting this thing up, because I'd never really set it as a goal. I'd never used the SMART acronym and this framework, and I'd never broken it down into actionable steps and looked at actually checking in with myself and how I could measure my progress against attaining this goal. And in 2014, I did it, and I sat down between Christmas and New Year, and it's a habit that I do now every single year, and I love it, getting ready for the new year. And I set a goal to set up this company, and I broke it down into actionable steps, exactly what I needed to do. And by the 16th of January, right, honestly, it was amazing. It was like 3 weeks later. This goal I'd put off for 3 years, I'd achieved in 3 weeks, and it added £60,000 to my income that year, which was game-changing to me back then, because I was earning, like, what was it? I think I might have just got out of Game, the computer game shop that I actually worked in for 11 years. But I was very new to not earning minimum wage anyway. I think maybe I'd got established in voiceover then, and I was, earning more from voiceover and things like that. But I certainly wasn't earning a lot, and to add 60k to my income changed my life, to be honest with you. And that would never have happened, hand on heart, no bullshit, if I had not gotten serious about setting my goals properly. And everything that I did to do that, I've put into that ebook. So although it's free and you get to download it, and and you can have it, please read it. Like, I spent time writing it, so please read it. And even better than that, what would be even better, if you just did, if you read it, if you actually take action, plan your goals, 7 to 10 goals, and then tweet me some of those. Just let me know, like, a goal, even just one thing that you want to achieve in 2022, and then maybe I'll keep you accountable. When I remember, I might drop you a tweet and just go, "Oi, what are you doing? Have you started on that thing that you said you were going to achieve?" Julie, thank you for sharing the link in the Facebook chat there. Raya, how you doing? Raya rhymes like fire, I think it is. Thank you, Josh, for sharing that as well. There's quite a few people who put it in the chat. So yeah, go and get that ebook. I can see people are downloading it now, which is good. David, you said something before about not being on Spotlight. Does it still make you commercially viable? Yeah, mate, absolutely, because because I know you've still got a lot of experience in the industry. You've still worked, professionally. You've got a very unique ROI in terms of, like, your ROI, that's return on investment, USP, unique selling point, with your voice, mate, in the history around that. And you're a hustler, so, like, you work hard. So, yeah, even if you're not on Spotlight and you're working towards that, so many agents that we've had on actonthis.tv have said, listen, if I like an actor, and I really like them, I think they've got something to offer, I'll work with them to get them the credits, to get them on Spotlight. Lots of agents, will do that if they really believe in you. So, yeah, don't let that hold you back, man. Definitely not. Obviously, work towards getting on Spotlight off your own back if you can. But, it still shouldn't stop you from, from going after what you want, at least asking for rep from agents that you might want to be rep by. A few people are saying, Jennifer said, we use SMART a lot in the police. I work in college and we use SMART targets a lot, says Nick. Honestly, it's great. It's such a simple framework. It's been around since the 1980s. It's proven ultimately, and it's about setting goals that are specific, measurable, achievable. Well, this is my version of it anyway. Achievable, the R is relevant, because sometimes people set goals that are not actually relevant to the season of life that they're in, and the T is time bound. So I can, if you've got questions about it, I can take you through a little bit on here tonight. Don't have time to dive into it like we do in that main session, but if you really want to go deep on it, the full replay, I'll just go back over to the site. If you click on to the members area, if you are a member, click into the premium membership. You will find it there at the very top, our latest 5 features. It's called It's Time to Get Smart About Your Acting Career Goals with Acting List founder Ross Grant. Obviously, that's me. But Petch, shout out to Petch as well. Petch was great on this. That's the full, an hour and 59-minute workshop right there. But it's awesome. While I'm on it, I've just remembered, I don't know if you've been, hopefully you will have been getting my emails, but I did a Black Friday deal, and I think there's one left. I'm just going to check if it's gone yet. actonthis.tv/Black Friday. This might cause a stampede. Basically, once a year, I do a mega crazy offer. Yeah, there's one place left. If anyone wants to go and grab this now, help yourself, because I'm not there to turn it off. actonthis.tv/Black Friday. I offer 10 lifetime memberships to Act on This just once a year. That's it. Basically, it means you pay one price and you never pay anything ever again. Membership's only £247 a year, but you get a lifetime for 494 quid, basically saving you thousands of pounds. The website's been around 12 years. It's going to be around at least another 12 years, as long as I'm alive, basically. So if someone wants to go and grab that last place, there is one available. If you're on a yearly membership now, you can get it, and I'll cancel your yearly membership or whatever. But I'm just checking. Yeah, I just thought, God, that's going to expire in 2 hours and 39 minutes if nobody claims it. So if anyone wants a lifetime membership, and it also means anything I ever add to the membership as well, in the future, if I add new features and stuff, you'll get for free. You'll literally never pay anything again. You get the Ultimate Contacts database for free as well, which is the largest database of casting directors' contact details, agents' contact details, casting associates, casting assistants. You get a course on social media called Social Media Deep Dive. That was a 200 quid course. You get that for free as well. It's just a bargain of a bloody century. But there's one of them left if you want to go and get it. I've just realised. Right, so back to goals. I've got a couple of other videos that I want to play out for you from that session. We've talked about SMART quite a bit. This is a clip that basically just takes you through again what that acronym stands for. And if you've got any questions, put them in the chat, because I'll answer them, obviously. As you're watching this, put them in the chat. I'll answer them when we get back. It's only a 2-minute video. This is what the SMART acronym stands for. S is for specific. M is for measurable. A is for achievable. R is for relevant. And T is for time-bound. S for specific.
When setting goals, most people fall down at this first hurdle. They simply don't get specific enough. Ask yourself the following. What exactly do I want to achieve? Where? How? When? With whom?
Measurable. Okay, one of the major keys to hitting goals is consistent progress tracking. If you set a goal that is measurable, you can then break the whole thing down into manageable chunks. Achievable.
If you don't have the time, experience, or money to hit certain goal right now, you'll probably fail and be miserable. Your goals must be challenging, but not delusional. This doesn't mean you can't aim to make the seemingly impossible possible, but you're going to need to go about things in a sensible order.
R is for relevant. Your goals must also be relevant and appropriate to the season of your life. If you are in the spring of your acting career, a time of new beginnings, that's a very different season than the summer of your acting career, where things are growing and your career is exploding. The seasons of your life don't follow, obviously, the seasons of the actual year or your age. You may find you're in a different season in one area of your life compared to another, okay? Your goals need to reflect these seasons. And then take it away for time-bound, Petch.
You must set a specific deadline for each goal. If you don't have a deadline, then there is no urgency to start taking action. When your goals are time-bound, the likelihood of your achieving them literally doubles.
The more frequently you check in with yourself and your goals, the more chance you have of hitting them. If you check in just once a month, and I want you to do it more than once a month, you would have 12 times more chance of success. Once a week, 52 times more chance of success than people who just set a New Year's resolution. Once a day, 365 times more chance of success, because you will know if you've veered off the track or you're still on it. Again, unlock the full 2-hour session at onthis.tv. Get a freaking membership if you want to succeed in 2022. I swear to God, it'll transform your life. So yeah, that was just taking people through the SMART acronym there as well. And one thing that we mentioned in that broadcast there as well is something once you've got your goals written down, you will find that one of them is what I call your push goal. One of them will basically, if you achieve it first, will make every other one easier. So I don't know, say for instance, try to think. I mean, we use the you don't have to do it this way, but we use the example of Spotlight before. Obviously, if you're already on Spotlight, it's going to make getting an agent easier. Yeah, there are agents who will absolutely sign you without it if they really believe in you. I mean, that's just a 100% is a given. Casting directors will absolutely 100% see you. If you're not on Spotlight, every casting director we've ever had on actonthis.tv, no matter what they cast, right up to the top, the biggest stuff in the world, if you're the right actor, for the thing they're casting, they will see you for it. But on a whole, you're going to get more opportunity if you're on Spotlight, because you're going to receive breakdowns. If you're not with an agent, you're going to still get a lot more breakdowns. Your agent is going to be able to submit you a lot easier for stuff, and that kind of thing. So, maybe if Spotlight is one of your 2022 goals, that would be your push goal before anything else, because it's like, well, if I can get these 4 credits to get on Spotlight and I can hustle my ass off January to March to get those 4 credits, then by March, I'm on Spotlight, and at that point, I'm like, right, now I'm ready to attack, more agents who, are more likely to consider me if I am on Spotlight. So you will find that one of your goals is a push goal. It might also be something to do with your health. Actually, if I get my health in check first, maybe you want to change your body composition. So maybe you want to shed a few pounds or whatever. We've all, had some lockdown eating sessions and probably put on a few pounds over lockdown and stuff like that. So maybe you're like, well, actually, you know what? My goals this year is to get a new showreel scene shot on my headshot, a new headshot shot. There's a lot of shooting going on. Yeah, my showreel shot on my headshot shot. But I'm also, I'm going to lose a stone. So your push goal to make getting the showreel done, easier and more efficiently, and the headshot will be to lose the stone first, so you're not having to retake your headshots or go, actually, I don't quite look like I'm doing that showreel there. I've lost weight now, or maybe you want to put on weight or put on muscle or whatever it is. So it's about getting specific with what you want, and then setting your 7 to 10 goals for the new year, and then figuring out which of those, if you attacked it first, would make everything else easier, or even some goals unnecessary. You might go, actually, you know what? If I achieve this, I don't need to go after that. So it's an interesting session. Who would like to earn extra money next year? Because this is something that is always on people's minds about going, right, I need more money. I mean, who doesn't need more money? I think we all, I don't know though. I mean, like, it doesn't make you happier, does it? Genuinely, it makes things a bit easier. But let me know in the comments. I'm just going to wait and see everybody go, me. Who would like an extra $5,000 next year? Shanice says defo. Let's have a look. Sarah's goal is getting an agent at the moment. On a Spotlight will come soon after that. But yeah, let me have a look who needs money. Who's after money? Because one of Petch's goals, and it's so hard these days, I only really managed it as an actor because I won on a game show actually back in the day, which really helped me with the house deposit. But getting a house, getting a mortgage is so hard when you're in the creative industry. I still had to. I had a pretty big deposit, and yet I still had to jump through so many hoops. And initially they denied me and said, "No, you're not having a mortgage." Until I just remember on the phone with a guy from NatWest, and he was Scottish, and I'm half Scottish. So he was like, I can't do it for you, mate. And I just appealed to him. I said, listen, like, come on, man. So my dad was Scottish, for the Scots, what can you do? Because I spent 6 months trying to get this mortgage, and now I've got enough money, and now they're ready to roll. And like, I put an offer in, you're now telling me I can't have it. He put the phone down. I don't know what happened, but the next day it got approved. So shout out to that Scots guy, whoever you were. Thanks ever so much for getting me on the property ladder. But it's pretty hard. And one of Petch's goals for the future, he didn't know exactly what time-bound sort of deadline to put on this, was to save up 20 grand for a house deposit. Now, a lot of people will be like, 20 grand, it's such a large amount of money, it's a bit overwhelming, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Thus, they will never attack that goal. But I took him through the SMART framework again, and the process of going, well, actually, how do we break this down so it's measurable and so we can actually attack it in a way that makes it not overwhelming? So we went, well, let's break it down into £5,000 chunks. Now, who couldn't do with an extra 5 grand a year? And I'm going to play a video out now where we actually break that down into going, well, how much does that mean you've got to earn a month, how much a week, how much a day? And you'll be surprised actually how little you would have to earn extra a day to have 5 grand in your pocket at the end of the year. Now, 5 grand would pay for God knows how many showreel scenes, your spotlight, an Act on This membership, equity, all these kind of things. So we could all do with that. And I know that everybody on here, you do have value to offer that on a daily basis would make you this really small amount of money, but after a 12-month period would mean 5K. So watch this, it might surprise you. Everybody, regardless of what other goals you're going for, you should have a financial goal, which can be like an outlying goal, almost sort of like a sub goal, a separate goal even to this list, where you are saving something, even if you don't know what that thing is for. When we're looking at breaking these goals down into manageable chunks, what if we actually broke that 20 grand down and went, well, actually, what percentage of that could we potentially save in a 12-month period? Because I think people would be surprised actually how little they have to save in order to achieve a relatively decent amount of money at the end of a year. If we break it down, 20 grand, I've gone over 4 years. So let's not look at it as a 12-monther. It's an outlying goal, 4 years. So it's 5K a year. Yeah. 5K over 365 days. I hinted at this before. £13.70. Most people here, if they eat out or like for their job, their work or something, they've ended up going to Pret or something for dinner, might have spent getting on for £13.70. You might find areas of your life where either you can save money to save £13.70 a day, or what side hustle could generate just £13.70 a day. And I put there like eBay flips. I went into Poundland with my phone and the eBay app, and the eBay app lets you scan barcodes, and everything in the pound store was £1. So I was scanning the barcode on these items, and eBay would tell me the last price that was sold for, including postage. And we were finding the items that were £1 that had sold for £5 or more. So I think eBay flipping easily could make you £13.70 a day. Etsy shops, I see a lot of people now, a lot of my friends have decided to make these Etsy shops where they like create handmade picture frames and stuff like that, maybe a bit crafty. You, Petch, I put that down for you specifically, self-tape and showreel editing, because that's what we mentioned before, You do that for people. You could easily, if you maybe went a bit, harder on that, make an extra £13.70 a day. actonthis.tv for the full session. Get your membership. Yeah, £13.70 a day. Doesn't sound like that much, but over a 12-month period is £5,000 in your back pocket. Now, I know I am guilty, well, I was until I started making my own coffees. We've got one here. Of spending in the morning on the way back from the gym, I would pick up a large Costa coffee. Shout out to Costa, because I still love you and I'll still be back. I just might not be back every day. But I would get a large coconut latte with sugar-free caramel, and it's £4.30. So there's a third of, what's that, like £1.5 grand a year on coffee that I'm just basically, you don't miss it when it's £4.30, here and there. But actually, like, that's a big amount of money when you're spending it consistently. I was really surprised. I bought a Subway sandwich from the Trafford Centre, a foot-long Subway, can't remember what it was, steak and cheese or something, with a drink. I think it was only water as well, and a cookie, and it was £11. And I'm like, fuck, that's £11 on my dinner. So if you're working one of your day jobs, maybe like me, like I used to, you work in retail or you work in a bar or whatever, and you're going out every day to Subway or something like that to get your dinner, and maybe you're spending a tenner. Just have a look at how much a year you're spending, and how if you just basically, made a sandwich at home or whatever and took it with you. I know it's a pain in the arse and no one really likes doing it, But if you are, striving to have more showreel scenes shot, new headshots, equity, and that's on this membership, spotlight, workshops and stuff like that, you'll be surprised how much you can save by, just holding back a little. £13.70 a day. And the other thing is, if you can't save that, because I know that's quite a bit of money, I guess, to save, then how can you make £13.70 a day? And that thing that I said in that clip about eBay flipping is real. Okay, underneath my apartment, I live like in a square where there's loads of shops and stuff like that. There's a shop that's a pound shop, a Poundland shop, and the eBay app is fantastic, right? Because on the eBay app, where you search for an item on eBay, there's a little barcode icon on the app on your iPhone or your Android. If you click it, it will open your camera and you can scan barcodes in shops. And what it will do is, if that item has been sold on eBay, it will show you the last time that item sold, how much it sold for, how much the postage was, etc., and when it last sold. So what we were doing as an experiment is, me and Petch, and we did this on an episode of my vlog a couple of years ago before COVID, we went in with a £5 and we bought 5 items, and I can still practically remember all of them. We bought a tube of Yoo-Hoo glue, which was like that yellow tubed glue, for £1. We bought a Matchbox car, like a kid's Matchbox toy. We bought a box of limited edition Oreos. They were limited edition though, and you couldn't get them in Ireland, so that was why they were selling for big bucks. A blow-up bag, like a rucksack. There was like a blow-up bag. And we bought a Blu-ray DVD. And what we'd done is we'd scanned these items before we bought them, obviously, and we were looking for anything that had sold within the last 7 days on eBay for over £5 that was light. So even if we had to pay postage, as opposed to charging the customer for postage, because sometimes eBay is like, you should pay for postage, you'll sell it quicker, it would still only be like £1, £1 to post it, or 75p to post it, or whatever. The biggest thing there was the glue, because it was the lightest and it was selling for £5.50. Now, we made £28.25 or £28.75 or something like that on that £5, basically. So we'd, so total profit would have been like £23. And we did it in about 15 minutes. And I'm like, honestly, if you are struggling, I just think that is such, and you can take a day off, or on your day off, put 8 hours into that. You might start off with £30 and go and buy 30 items. And don't think you've got to buy 30 different items. What I would have done, had they had 30 tubes of glue, I would have bought 30 tubes of glue, because it was the lightest item, it was the most expensive on eBay, and it had sold most frequently. So that means you're only creating one listing on eBay. You're not having to spend all day creating 30 different listings. And all you're doing is putting in the quantity box 30. Whack them all into little jiffy bags. It's dead light. You can just post it off whenever you sell one, and you've just got some money to play with. So maybe you make £3 overall per glue. So that's £90 in the pot, and then you go and do it again, and then before you know it, that £90 is £180, and then it's £500. I just think it's a real thing. It's a real eBay flipping is a real thing, and also going into places like TK Maxx, scanning barcodes and stuff there. You can earn. I know people who do it, and you can earn some serious money if you want to put the time in. But obviously, you've got to hustle a little bit. Sam says you've broken up with Costa. I've not, Sam. I'm just trying to save a bit of money because, and also I'm trying to just limit my intake of coffee and coconut milk, because I'm like, I don't know if it can be good for you taking so much. Joe said try to get the Black Friday deal. Is it gone? No, Joe, I've not seen anything come through. I mean, technically, when it does go, I'm supposed to turn it off, but because I'm on this broadcast, I'm not going to be able to. So I guess technically 2 people could grab it. But if you go to actonthis.tv/Black Friday, as long as the green button under the video works and takes you to the checkout, then you can claim that deal, no problem at all. Technically, there's only 10 places on it, but because I can't turn it off, maybe a couple people could sneak in while I'm on this broadcast. But yeah, Julie says, brilliant idea. Honestly, and what else could you do that could just earn you £13 extra a day, £13.70 a day? As I say, people are doing those Etsy stores. I've seen a lot of my friends set up handcraft stuff where they'll make picture frames or plates. I know a girl this time of year who makes plates for kids to put out for Father Christmas, where they've got a dedicated spot for a mince pie for Father Christmas and a bit for a carrot for Rudolph. And Emma, her name, and she's brilliant. She makes these beautiful plates. It's hand painted. And yeah, they take her time, but she just paints them, whacks them in the oven to set the paint, I think. And then I think they're like 25 quid or something like that. She must make quite a decent amount of money on those. Obviously, it's a seasonal thing, but she does other things throughout the year. But just have a think how you can make £13.70 a day, or maybe you save half of that, save £7. How can you make £7 a day? And then you've got £5,000 at the end of the year to spend on absolutely whatever you like. So that was a little insight, into that goal setting session. If you want to, like I say, if you want to go and get that, that's the Black Friday deal. Where's the if you go to actonthis.tv/goals, go and get that smart ebook. Totally free. Please download it, because it took me quite a while to write it out. It's about a 12-page ebook or something like that, but it's all about setting goals the smart way, strategically. I share software in there that I use to track my goals. We go over push goals in there. I take you through the SMART acronym, exactly how it works. I give you examples of goals within that as well, good examples and bad examples, so that you're on the right track. The main thing I see people fall into when they're setting goals is they're never specific enough. They'll say, right, I want a role on serial drama. They'll do it all right. They'll go, I want a role on serial drama. And they'll set it by a time-bound goal of 31st of March or something like that, 2022. But they're not specific enough. They could get more specific. What kind of role, in terms of, do you know your day player type in serial drama? What would you be playing? In what show? Because, the relevant part of the SMART acronym would mean that if you're based in the North, the shows in the North are more relevant than they are in the South to you personally. So you've got to get really, really specific. And then you can reverse engineer that goal by going, okay, well, now I know the show, I know the casting director. Now I know what role I would see myself in when it comes to a day player type. I can go and shoot a show reel showing that, to show that casting director. It becomes a lot easier than generically and generally setting a goal to get more work in a new year. That just never works, because you don't really know specifically what you've got to do. So actonthis.tv/goals, go get that ebook. Let me know what you think. And yeah, do tweet me once you've set goals. Like I say in that ebook, you should be chasing anywhere up to 10. I often, set myself at 7 so I don't get overwhelmed. I think no less than 7 goals, definitely no more than 10. You'll overwhelm yourself. But I would love to know just 1 or 2 of your goals. Drop me a tweet through on Twitter at actonthisTV or at Ross A. Grants. I would love to know what it is that you want to achieve in 2022, and also maybe I can help you, help you achieve that. Julie says, I took a photo and was amazed, got over 500 likes on a site. Thinking how I am going to get it printed and sell it. Perhaps Etsy will be good. Yeah, if you've got a photo that's brilliant, and obviously you own the rights to that photo, Julie, and you can print it, which is relatively cheap, and you can buy some frames. If it's a beautiful photograph that people would go, yeah, that'd look great on my wall or on my mantelpiece or whatever, then that even in itself could be a fantastic little earner to get you, £13 a day or whatever. It just adds up. £5,000 sounds overwhelming, but when you break it down at £13.70 a day, you go, actually, you know what, that's achievable, because I might already be spending £6 on coffee and £7 on my lunch at Pret when I'm eating out, because I won't go and get a block of cheese from Sainsbury's and make my own sandwiches. And like I said, I know it's shit, because I used to do it myself. I know it's so much better and tastes so much better when someone else has made you that food, as opposed to you making it yourself. But, if you want more things in your acting career, then that's a little sacrifice that you should be prepared to make. So you can check out the full session on actonthis.tv. We've got 19 minutes left, and I just want to talk a little bit about show reels, because tomorrow night, Mr. Chris Stone is back in the house for members of actonthis.tv. I can't believe it, this is going to be the last Showreel Surgery session of 2021. We hold a session called Showreel Surgery Live once a quarter, so we do 4 sessions a year. I can't believe the last one is upon us. December is nearly upon us. It's taking place tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. I'm going to record a little trailer with Chris actually at 10:05 tonight that I'm going to put out on social media tomorrow. But basically what we do on one of these sessions is we play out live. Members can jump on Zoom and come and watch. And we play out live 5 show reels from members of actonthis.tv. Chris chooses them at random. If you look in the Facebook group, you will find, if I go over to Facebook, let me just make sure it's still there. Facebook. If you go over to Facebook, you will find in the Facebook group, if you are a member of actonthis.tv, I put a post out this morning with a form, or last night actually I put it out with a form. Let me just try and find it. You might have to scroll down a little bit. It's been quite a busy, bloody hell, busy group today, isn't it? There it is. So look for that post there with a Showreel Surgery 2021 submission form. It's also in the comments underneath this one here, Showreel Surgery Live. It's that form that I've linked to there. If you click on it, it'll take you over, and you can just fill out this form with your name and a link to your showreel on YouTube or Vimeo. We can't take it from anywhere else, but if you give us a link to YouTube or Vimeo, Chris is going to choose 5 at random, and I will just download the showreels tomorrow so we can play them out live tomorrow night. And what Chris does, he's the best showreel producer in the UK by far, without a doubt. I got a message before from a guy called Phil. I don't know if you're on here tonight, Phil, total legend. And he sent me a message because I sent this out in an email saying, yeah, I want to... Joanne, congrats, you just got the Black Friday deal. The last one. Nice one. Yeah, Phil sent me an email because I sent the request out for showreels to members today, and he just wrote me back. He said, this showreel is the result of my implementing the advice given to me by Ross and Chris. So far, it seems it's got me paid work in his dark materials, doctors, and now casualty. Thank you, gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart, and he's linked to his showreel. So we picked out Phil's showreel either on the last one or the one before that. Chris gave him some advice that he implemented, and now he's crushing it. So these sessions are really valuable. Even if your reel doesn't get chosen to be dissected and critiqued, you will still pick up on mega important strategies that you should be implementing in your showreel in order to have the biggest impact on the casting directors and the agents that you're sending it to. You don't have to have loads of scenes. You don't have to have an all singing or dancing showreel made up of loads and loads of footage, but there are just things that I see actors doing consistently wrong that are really basic, very easily implementable strategies that if you just put into your reel, it just has such a bigger impact. And sometimes it doesn't mean going and getting new footage at all. It just means making a tweak, putting your footage in a slightly different order, starting it on a different line, adding your headshot to the start, not just starting with your name on the screen. There's lots of little things that we're going to go over just to make sure, again, if your goal is to work more in 2022, having a showreel that's going to showcase you to the best of your ability is a critical piece of that. So fill that format if you want us to choose your reel. Chris is going to choose them at random, and let me know where you're at with your with your reels. Alex says, quick question. I'm getting a new scene back from Collective Media next week, but I'm going to do another scene in 2 weeks. Should I wait to send out both, or should I send them out separately? Also, should I wait until the new year to send them? So, Alex, what do you want? So, if it's... Are you reps? You've got an agent, haven't you? If it was an agent, I would send them out now. Do you know what? No, I'd send... Even if it's casting directors, mate. If it's for serial drama, yes, You need to get it quick, though, the scene you've got. So you're going to get the scene from Collective Media back next week. That's going to put us in the first week of December. Absolutely send that one out straight away, the day you get it. Send it to Jenny Radcliffe at Corrie. Send it to Faye Styron at Emmerdale, Peter Hunt particularly. Put it on Twitter. Let's get people retweeting it and watching it. There's loads of people in our community who'll do that for you as well. That's bound to mean some casting directors will see it, some casting assistants will see it, and some casting associates will see it. And then, but put in the end of your email. Really excited to be shooting. New material as well. In a couple of weeks, we'll be sure to get in touch in the new year. Just to give them a little heads up. I'm going to be back in touch with you. Be prepared, basically. But yeah, that's exactly what you should do, Alex. It's tempting to put it off and go, oh, send it all out at once. But I think 2 shots is better than 1. They might not even read the first email that you send out because they might not have time. But I know people will still be in their offices. I think my agent, Jane, she's a ledge, and Kat work until about the 21st, 22nd of December. Obviously, the last week, preceding that will very much be them just receiving bottles of champagne from clients that they rep and stuff like that. There'll be people going in, if COVID doesn't restrict us from doing that, to have a little catch up with them and a Christmas drink and stuff. Agents generally, obviously they've got a lot of paperwork to do, and they'll be sending out invoices and stuff like that, and tying up loose ends. But I find, just my own experience, that that last week before everybody finishes, everyone's in a great mood, and they are looking at submissions that come in because they've got a little bit more time. Generally speaking, there's not that many auditions happening that week. They'll still be doing the paperwork, but they might find an extra hour where they're having a glass of Prosecco because they're inundated with it. they'll go, right, let's have a look at some reels. So yeah, I would still send it in December, Alex, and then wait for the other one, and then send the other one in the new year, 100%. Definitely. It says it's a therapist scene, so should be suitable for serial drama. Yeah, man. Good. But yeah, send it out, and let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. And Joe, congrats. Yeah, you got you got that lifetime membership. So what I'll do, I will cancel if you've got your other subscription. I will make sure I cancel that this evening, and then you'll never pay anything for your membership ever again now. So that's amazing. That's another 10 of those gone this year. Maybe I'll do it next Black Friday as well, but we shall see. I don't know. I've only done it twice in the past 12 years, but I thought I'll do it this year because it's been a bit of a mental year, hasn't it, for a lot of people. Wicked. So we've got 12 minutes left. Yeah, like I say, if you want to submit your reel for tomorrow night with Chris, go and do that via that form in the Facebook group. That would be great. Those people on the replay, if you're listening to this past, I don't know, midday on the 30th of November, the deadline is probably passed for that, but go and check out the recording of the session on actonthis.tv, and you'll also find past recordings of previous sessions from Showreel Surgery as well. I still keep those up in the members area because I think it's useful to watch as many reels as possible and hear what Chris has to say about them, because you'll get ideas from each one. Your showreel is never finished. It's a constant work in progress. It'll always be improvable in terms of you'll always be able to improve upon it. And I think sometimes just making an edit to your reel or shooting something new, it just gives you that little, like, I don't know, that enthusiasm back, doesn't it? That sort of dopamine hit where you're like, right, now I'm ready to send this out again. Because sometimes, even when your reel's working for you, I'm not normally a big fan of fixing things that aren't broken, but sometimes I need a little bit more motivation. So if I've got something new coming out, I've got a new show that's coming out on BBC Two next year. As soon as I get that, it's me playing a talk show host, which is very Alan Partridge, but I've got nothing like it on my reel at all. So I know I pretty much know which scene I'm gonna take off my reel and replace, this new footage with. And then it just gives you that impetus to go, right, I feel good again, let's go. Even though there's nothing wrong really with my reel right now, but I'm like, I've got a new piece of footage, so now I'm going to be raring to send it out to more people. I'm going to be tweeting it. So sometimes I think you just need to give yourself a kick up the arse and maybe just do an edit anyway to give yourself that enthusiasm back. Definitely. The goal setting book, Joe, is on a specific page, actonthis.tv/goals. actonthis.tv/goals. Just put your name and email address in and you'll get an email a couple of minutes later automatically with a link that will take you directly to the workbook. It's a PDF. You can download it or just browse it online. Entirely up to you. Definitely. Alex says, may have missed it because I've been at work. Do we have any cheeky sneak peeks of guests for 2022? No, Alex, I'm not going to do it. No, absolutely. Me and Petch were just talking about this today. No, just know that there's going to be in January, there'll be some brand new guests who've never been on before. There'll also be some old friends who have not been on the site for over a year, actually. Some big casting directors who, have done sessions with us in the past, who are going to be coming back in January because they've not been on in such a long time, but they've cast massive shows in the meantime. So I want to find out all about those, the new upcoming projects for 2022. Hopefully, it all bloody depends, doesn't it, on this flipping Omicron variant. It's just like, what is going on in the world? I'm like, maybe 2022, everything will just be completely back to normal and everything will be good again. And then we're like, oh no, you've got this super strain that seems to be able to evade the vaccine and stuff. When does it stop? At what point? Because I saw Pfizer said, yeah, we'll get a new vaccine in 100 days. But then I'm like, well, what happens? Do we just keep getting these crazy ass mutations or what? Like, when have previous pandemics finished? Because I heard they were like normally 4 years till they just burnt themselves out. So I'm like, oh God. But yeah, hopefully casting will be even more normal next year. Fingers crossed. If that other variant just does one, hopefully it will do. Fingers crossed. Yeah, and yeah, we'll find out from the casting directors that we've got on, how they're going to operate in 2022. And I'm also, one thing I'm well up for suggestions from you guys. Again, if there's people that we've not had on yet. I mean, the thing is with casting directors, because there's only so many casting directors who cast the biggest stuff in the industry, obviously they're going to, we're going to probably have them on once a year. Alex has said Nina Gold. Nina Gold is the hardest person to track down to get to do something like this. She's never, ever done anything like this. There's been some other casting directors who've never done things like this, though, that we've had on. But Nina tends to do like a double page spread in the Telegraph once a year on a massive show she's cast. So I just don't know. Robert Stern is a lovely, lovely guy who works directly with Nina, who won't do stuff on camera, but I think he will do a pre-recorded podcast. He would do an audio-only thing where I would have to take some kit and record a podcast. It wouldn't be a live interactive thing, but I think that's still worth doing because we've not heard from that office at all. Kate Bone, actually, is well up for doing a session. She works with Nina and Robert. So that'll happen in 2022 for sure. Kate's not been on actonthis.tv before. But yeah, if you've got any other suggestions, I just can't promise you Nina Gold. I will still try. I'll be like, Nina, how much do I have to donate to charity to get you to do something like this? It'd be an absolute win, wouldn't it? Because no one has ever done it before. So I don't know. One of my friends teaches a yoga, or at least used to. So like, maybe I could just turn up to the yoga class and just go, oh, Nina, fancy seeing you here. Here's a bribe of a couple of £1,000. Come and do a session. Joking, Nina, if you ever see this. But I would give you a couple of grand if you want to come and do something, because it just for the win. So I'm like, yes, we finally had her on. So yeah, if you got any other suggestions, I would love to hear them. Actors, directors, writers, producers, casting directors, casting assistants, casting associates. Oh, I mean, that's something we've not had on before. Sometimes people at ITV, because they're contracted, and BBC as well, they're a little bit sort of apprehensive of coming and speaking on a session like the ones that we run, because they don't want to sound like they're talking on behalf of the broadcaster. You always see it in people's Twitter bios, don't you? You know, opinions are all of my own and nothing to do with ITV or BBC or whatever. Sometimes ITV, have been a little bit, people like at Corrie have been a bit like, oh, I just don't know if I can do that. But we will have, I think we're going to have Lisa Boyle, who is the new casting assistant associate at Coronation Street. Lisa seems to be up for a session, which will be cool. That'll be the first time we've had somebody from there. It's not Jenny's kind of thing, I don't think. Jenny's absolutely lovely, but doesn't, sort of do a lot of on-camera stuff or things like that. But Lisa will probably be coming on, so that will be great. I've already spoken to her. So we've got some cool stuff coming up, and just loads of great actors as well. Brilliant actors with fantastic stories to tell. Two in particular, one's won a BAFTA. Both young, actually, because I thought I'm going to bring some more people on as well who are at the start of their career, but have maybe done what a lot of people would think is like, oh, they got lucky or whatever. They didn't. But they've won they've won a Best Actor BAFTA very early in their career, maybe for the first or the second job. And we've got two guys in that situation who will be coming on in early 2022, but have not trained at drama school, have not come from a really privileged background. Actually, I think both, thinking about it, were boxers. And then have come into the acting industry. I won't tell you who they are, leave it as a surprise. But yeah, one for, I think his first or second job, won a Best Actor BAFTA. And it's just a really inspirational story, because I think a lot of people think those who've won BAFTAs, oh, well, they're public school boys and girls and they're really well connected and da-da-da-da-da. And these guys just came from really humble beginnings, have just hustled, worked hard. Yes, of course, they got a little bit lucky in terms of, a part came up for them, but they deserved it. They wouldn't have got it if they hadn't have trained and been prepared to take the opportunity. And I think they've got really interesting stories to tell. So we've got stuff like that coming up. Just try to bring you guys like new stuff. And also me. I try to bring myself new stuff every week that I've not spoken about before. One thing I want to do more of, and let me know if you want these as well, is a balance between the live sessions on Zoom and also some in-depth pre-records. Because I love podcasting and I love having someone sat at my kitchen table and really diving into their life. So you get a bit more vulnerability out of them. We've got more time. They are long podcasts. Sometimes they're like 2 hours and stuff like that. So it'll be something that you can listen to over the course of a few days. But you really, really learn about the person as opposed to just about their job, which is a lot of the focus on the Zoom calls. So I want to do a few more of those. I'm going to do a 2021 wrap-up podcast with Petch that will go into the members area on the 23rd of December this year. Which is another pre-record. We've done one of those this year, but that'll be the second one we've done this year. But I want to do more of those in 2022. So let me know if you find those useful. Either ones that, even members could take part in. Maybe we could do like a pre-record once a month where we bring on, I don't know, 2 or 3 members and we all record a podcast together, documenting how you're doing in your career, again, just to make it more relatable to people who are in the community starting out on their journey as well. And then breakthroughs and wins that you've had, we can talk about that. I definitely want to get David Carpenter on, member of acts.on-this.tv, who crushed it this year by landing his first role as a regular in all 6 episodes of ITV's new season 3 of The Bay, which will be coming out next year. So success stories like that, where people have come from nothing. David didn't go to drama school. He's a brand new young lad in the industry, no traditional training, didn't come from loads of money again, implemented all the advice he's been given from the sessions on acts.on-this.tv and just crushed it. So things like that I want to do more of. There's so much. And the Christmas cocktail Zoom, Julie, is next Thursday. So yeah, we're doing. I'll show you what's happening just for the rest of this year. Let me go over to my web browser. That's on this.tv. If ever you want to check out what's going on, you can come over to the website and just click the purple bar at the top, and it'll take you over to the schedule. So there's only 3 things left. So we've got Showreel Surgery tomorrow night with Mr. Chris Stone. Do not miss it. It's going to be total kick-ass. It'll be a fantastic session. Cocktails and conversation and a big quiz. Petchy's big quiz will take place next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Probably a bit later, that one, like till maybe 10 we'll go to, have a few drinks. You can bring a cocktail. It doesn't have to be alcoholic, but come and get involved in that. We're going to be doing me versus the community on a quiz. You can win, I'm going to be giving away about 200 quid worth of Amazon gift cards to members that night. So come and get involved if you want some Amazon money for free. There'll be me versus you on a quiz. But that's happening, next Thursday. The Tuesday after, we've got Phil Barantini and the cast and crew of Stephen Graham's new film, Boiling Point, which is taking the festival circuit by storm. I cannot confirm yet which members of cast will be there. Stephen's been on acts.on-this.tv before when we did the roundtable with Lewis Arnold, all about Time, the BBC drama that Stephen starred in with Sean Bean. Maybe we'll get Steve back if he's available. But Phil Barantini and key cast members and crew, I don't know who they're going to be yet, will be there. That's the following Tuesday. And then on the Thursday after that is when I'm going to put out that wrap-up podcast. So you've got content every single week, brand new content, until the 23rd of December. And then I'm out. I'm out. I want you to be out. Go and relax. Take some time off. The whole point of this community is to take action every day in your career throughout the year, and get ready for the new year. But it's so important. One thing I've learned this year more than anything, and I really mean more than anything, is the importance of rest and recuperation. Because I have not given my body enough. I felt my health suffer big time. After the second vaccine, I was screwed. I had a big reaction with my lymph nodes all down here. They're still not 100% better all across my clavicle here and down the left side of my neck. I know that was probably impacted more by the fact that I was not sleeping enough. I was working myself into the ground. I was getting to bed at 1 a.m. and getting up for the gym at 6:30. I did that for way too long. I've not been spending enough time with friends and family and really sort of getting those dopamine hits of actually just enjoying my life. I've just been all work a lot of the time. So over Christmas, just forget about this industry, forget about me, this site, this community. We're going to start again in January. I think the first session back will probably be the 11th of January. So have some time off, guys, like I am. Otherwise, I'm going to be no use to you next year whatsoever. It is important to sleep and get rest and actually enjoy the Christmas period, because I think last year, I don't even remember it. I mean, what even was last year? We just didn't have any Christmas. I stayed here on my own. I didn't even put the tree up. I spoke to my family on FaceTime. It just wasn't Christmas, basically. I was like, oh, well, that's another day done. So this year, if we can safely mix with a few people in our families, do that. It's really important. There's so much more to life in this industry. I lost one of my best friends 2 weeks ago. Eddie, 39, unfortunately passed away from complications of a heart operation. Just made me think, God, it just is. There's just more than this, guys. There's more than the hustle and the work, and the jobs on TV. Yeah, they're great, but I promise you, when you're 92 or 100, that we're all going to get to, I don't think you're going to look back and go, oh, I'm really gutted I didn't send that extra email to Andy Pryor or Daniel Edwards. You're probably going to look back and go, oh, you know what? Gutted I didn't speak to that person before they passed away, or gutted I didn't go around to my mum's for dinner, you know, when I had the opportunity, or I didn't spend time with such and such a body over Christmas when they only come back and they live in a different country. They're the shit that you're going to regret. So make sure you do that. You know, you use the time off over Christmas wisely. Right, what's this? What's going down in the chat here? Someone's saying, Alex saying, I heard about Ross. What did you hear about me, Alex? Oh, maybe I've missed it. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying there. And I heard about Ross too. What, Alex? What did you hear about me? I'm intrigued. Oh, you're talking about singing on the, yeah. So basically 2 years ago on the Christmas Cocktails and Conversation, it got very leery. We stayed up till about 3 o'clock in the morning. Chris Everett got very drunk and started smashing out some like meatloaf or something. I can't remember what it was. We were getting everybody to do karaoke via Spotify. It was insane. I don't know if I can promise you that again this year, guys, but you can create your own after party on Zoom. That's no problem. I might stay on till about 11 o'clock. After just saying I need more rest, I definitely have to. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you because I've got to go and record this trailer with Chris Stone, but be there tomorrow night. If you're not a member of ActsOnThis.tv, come and get involved in this bloody community. It's the most supportive community on the planet when it comes to acting, this industry. I bring you the biggest names in the industry every week. If you're dying to get in front of a casting director, just come and talk to them on one of our sessions. Like, it blows my mind where people are like, oh, I really want to get in front of such and such. I'm like, well, have you watched the session that I did with them? No. Why? I'm not a member. It's £6 a week. What are you doing with your life? Come on. Like, people charge you 50 quid for a 2-hour workshop. I give you 7 a month for 24 quid. It's a complete no-brainer, so come and get involved. And I hope to see people, tomorrow night. Maybe it'll be your showreel that we'll be watching. What should I play out? I've not got anything. I'm going to play out... I'm going to have to just play out the mashup of the goal setting mastermind that we did last week. If you've not set your goals, actsonthis.tv/goals, go and get that PDF, and then go into the members area and watch the full 2-hour workshop that I did on setting smart goals. It's there right now. Here's a little 2-minute trailer of what you missed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. All right, love to all. Until next time, bye for now. Different kind of session tonight. No special industry guest per se, although we've got Petch here with us as well. But tonight, everyone watching this session is our special guest as we dive deep into the world of strategic goal setting, designing you guys your best year ever. Career goals, financial goals, personal development goals, spiritual goals, educational goals, relationship goals, and physical/health goals. The title of this workbook is It's Time to Get Smart About Your Acting Career Goals. And that's because we're going to be looking at that acronym tonight. The SMART acronym is a scientifically proven framework for setting goals. So first off, let me say this. Goal setting should not be left exclusively till December. All right. Yes, people get pumped just before a brand new year begins. But if you want to achieve real success, you should be setting goals all year round. So this is what the SMART acronym stands for. S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for achievable, R is for relevant, and T is for time-bound.
To land my second TV role playing a male nurse or similar on either Emmerdale or Hollyoaks by the 28th of Feb.
It's more relevant than EastEnders because you're a northerner. You know, you're based in the north. It's super specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, and it's time bound. So you got the 28th of Feb.
Basically, my first one is to get an agent.
In the SMART acronym, the relevancy is going to be really critical here.
My goal was to get 3 speaking parts on TV or film of sort of 10 lines or more.
You don't need my permission to do anything. You don't need Ross's permission. You just need permission yourself to go after the career that you want and know that you deserve it and know that everything that you need to succeed in that career is already a part of you.